Guys, in the last video, we got most of the metal work done on Recto and got it back in one piece, but we have a lot of work ahead of us if we want to get it driving time for Halloween. So let's get to work. Now, I know I kind of said we got a lot of the metal work done. There's still a teeny bit left. We still need to finish underneath. Remember, I left that half done. I've got one little patch to make here. I've got to take that little piece off. I might not even film that, but I got to make a little rectangle right here because all of that is rotted out. This whole area was just full of mud and rust before. So we'll get that little patch cleaned up, but in order to get any of this done, I'm taking that gas tank back out. I'm not gonna make the same mistake again. That gas tank's coming out, and while we're back there, we're gonna wire brush all this metal, throw some good rust primer on it, and we're just gonna move around and make some progress as we go. Well, it's really hard to tell on the camera, but I just pulled about a 1/4 inch worth of Bondo out of here and here. I guess Buddy must have backed into something at one point. I can see these two holes where I guess they had tried to pull one dent out before. Maybe it was worse than this at one point. I will hit these the same way I'm hitting all those roof dents with my little stud puller. So tacks in right there, and then I use a slide hammer to back it out. Hopefully it's not going to be too bad. If not, I'll just put the same amount of Bondo back in it, and there's no one will be any the wiser. All right, guys, so it's the next day. I've been a little busy off camera welding, grinding, and priming, and doing all the stuff that you guys have already seen me do for many days worth of footage. Did a lot of stuff up there, filled in those holes, ground them down, doing the same thing down here, fixing stuff as I go. I think what I'm going to switch to now is this dent puller that I've never used. It's still brand new in the box, but it's just a stud welder that welds a little stud on, and then it comes with a little slide hammer, and you pull it back, and Bob's your uncle. I've got I don't think I have any except for this one on this side. I've got this one I can try it on over here, and then really not much more to do on this side. Oh yeah, this one. So we'll work on this section and that dent right there. If we can get those pulled pretty easily, which I think we can, we will go back to doing grinding and whatever. So then in the morning we will jump over here. We'll get some of these big ripples out of the way. That one. They don't really show up super well, but I mean, you can see it's about a 1/4 inch divot right there. And we'll also have to fix those two that we discovered yesterday. So pull right here, try to get an extra 1/4 inch out. I'm excited. Let's see what we can do. All right guys, so it's been a day or two since I filmed anything. I did show you guys a little bit. Last you saw was me wire brushing the ceiling just so I could OSPO, rust convert everything. Been needing to do this since I bought the car, so I'm really relieved to finally start doing it. That is the before and after right there. That's a very amazing difference. Really good turnaround. Very happy about that. I'll just wipe everything off at the end, wipe all the little crusties off. We'll be ready for a primer and undercoat down there pretty soon. I've been just doing stuff off camera that you guys don't really care about seeing again. Just more welding and grinding and correcting old welds. Oops. La 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 la. Sorry about that. Just been going around filling every hole that I can, trying to make everything complete, because when I film I kind of get stuff to the 90% mark, but doing the last 10% stuff that you guys probably don't care about. Got a little bit more grinding down here, but all the welding is done. Grinding's done on the doors. I just need to grind the rocker, littlest bit over here, and then grind down the quarter panel, because we got to get the gas tank back in once the welding's done, get this thing mobile again, and then we will find a resting place to actually start all the sanding and prepping for body work, so we can get the Bondo laid down, get the primer laid down, make a drip rail and get that drip rail installed, get this taken off. I got a lot to do, but just trying to do the stuff that's a little bit boring right now. Fuck! Kill me. Alright, so while the car is very warm because it's parked in a bad spot just with sunlight baking on it, I'm going to move to something else, something I can do in the shade. This is the light bar project that I've been putting off, where I need to build 2 Code 3 Force 4 XLs into the correct spec for the Ecto 1. This is the one you guys saw in the end of the last video, kind of got it mocked up. But what I need to do, I'm not just talking about changing the lenses or anything. All the internals need to be gone through to make sure that everything, well, I guess I also need to make sure they work, but beyond that, I need to try to swap some stuff and hope that I can interchange some stuff off of these 2 bars and I believe, yeah, this bar. These are Code 3, I believe, LP 6000s or MX 7000s. Can't tell on that one because it burned off. Let's see, what are you? Code 3, doesn't say. Oh, yeah, right there. LP 6000s. I need to see if I can interchange some parts on here, such as rotators in the middle, things that just spin around. They weren't completely up to spec even originally because they weren't exactly accurate. You're supposed to have a rotator here, and a diamond in the middle. Now, I have one of these is mostly right, one of them is like half off, whatever. I've got those two bars, I've got the new Code 3 Force 4s, and then I have a spare LP6000 that is full rotators. I am hoping that between these 5 light bars, I can have enough parts to make 2 correct Ghostbusters light bars. I also have these Code 3 Force 4 XL lenses. 2 of these, the really nice ones, I got from my buddy Ectotech out in New Jersey. The other 2, I believe I got from my buddies Ectotex's over in Dallas. So between these, I should be able to make some pretty good clear lens, blue lenses. I'm going to do them the same way I did my other corner lights, those little small ones, and the spotlight that's on the car. For you guys that don't know, you can just spray with transparent paint from Hobby Lobby. Even though they stopped carrying it the last couple years, I'm able to get it off Amazon and eBay. So transparent paint from the inside. I'm going to test it out on this piece. This is a center for a LP6000. It's the part that I have the least attachment to in case I mess it up, and I can also check to see how the faded yellowy ones are gonna look. If they end up looking bad, I'll try it here and I'll try it there. So I'll try it on a clear surface and a yellow one. Depending on how they look, I might end up doing some polishing on the clear ones. Don't know just yet. But let's get these, it's going to be this one and this one. Let's get them stripped down and see what we need and start taking some parts off that we know we're not going to use. Guys, that is phenomenal. I don't know what I was so worried about. Here is a factory blue MX7000 or LP6000 bar. And here is a spray painted foggy clear lens that was very yellow. That one is going to look even better. But this is just with a foggy, unpolished yellow bar, and it looks the exact same. I really can't tell any difference. That's going to be beautiful. All right, front works. Perfect. All right, so now that we are done with the light bar side project, the Bondo came in just in time, so I'm going to clean this off, and I am only going to Bondo problem areas. I'm not going to go ahead and do a whole skim coat because I want to try to be timely as I can with this. For instance, we're really not going to do the entire door over here. We're just going to do along the bottom where I made my cuts, And right here where there's existing old Bondo damage, we're gonna knock all that off and we're gonna Bondo. But I'm going to start with what I already have. So I will do this quarter, or I'll do this door, I'll do this quarter, and I'll do this roof section since that's all primed and nice. And I suppose I can do that as well. I can do some right there. I can do these inside sections right here, the little bumper jam. I can do all the way up along this surface. I can do right there. And then I guess tomorrow I'll clean this surface up and then I'll do it there as well. So I've been busy sanding off camera, as you can tell from my outfit. Got this looking better. These doors are looking better. I don't think I'm gonna try to make these perfect because it's the Recto one after all, and I just don't have the time or the facilities to make this look perfect. So we're just gonna be okay with a little bit of scratches and gouges wherever they are. I mean, I'll tell you guys, I think she looks really good. I know that I'm leaving some things not as perfect as a $200,000 Ecto one would be, but I mean, come on. She's straight.
I am straight.
She doesn't have any big dents. All the problems are in like that last little 5% of perfection work that I just can't do out here. I can point out little issues like the doors not aligning perfectly, but realistically the real one also has these same issues, and that was, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands they spent back in 2008 restoring the real Ecto one, and the gunner door has tighter door jams than the real new Ecto ones as well, because they did a lot more modification and some stuff just doesn't line up perfect, which is fine. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying it should give me a little bit of leeway for the kind of the issues that I'm having. But I've seen Ectos with rear end swaps that looked way worse than this. Golly. I think I'll be very happy and very content with the little issues like the a couple welds you can still see and maybe some Bondo in a couple spots. I'm gonna be very, very happy with this. I guess tomorrow we'll get started on this side, get those dents pulled, get this one ready, and then we can see how much paint we can lay down this weekend. So far, I'm very happy with this stuff. It seems to be spreading very well. We'll see how it looks in a minute. Alright guys, so got everything primered. So now that everything's the same color, you can kind of start to see the problem areas. And yeah, they're pretty bad still, so I got a lot of work left to do. Not too thrilled about that. Obviously some of it will get covered by the white and it'll even be more disguised. So there's some stuff I'm not as worried about, but some stuff I'm more worried about now. So like the Bondo areas, they need a lot more work before they're ready. These little stripes along the side where I welded and got rid of that body line, those are pretty rough still. The quarter panels look pretty good. Everything up here along the jamb, this is pretty good. Doesn't need much work left. But the roof line, yeah, it's rough. Gosh, I was really hoping it would kind of clear up a little bit, but with primer, but not really. So I'll do a little bit of work, try to clean these up, but realistically guys, this is not going to be a perfect car ever. It's the Recto 1 at the end of the day, guys. I just don't know where I'm gonna draw the line, because I do want to get this thing put back together, but I also don't want it to look like the worst Ecto 1 in the world, and I don't want to go afterlife style. Obviously I can, but I'd rather go Frozen Empire. But it's just gonna look really bad to combine this rough bodywork with, you know, proper paint, shiny paint. Almost wonder if I should just disguise it with the rusty, but I don't like the rusty look as much. I don't know, guys. Alright, it's been a few hours. I spent some time working on this side off camera just to see if it can be salvaged, and it can. We're all good. All the spatter and everything cleans off pretty easily with just a 120 grit hand sanding. I could also wet sand it. It wouldn't make much of a difference. I guess maybe for the next coat I'll do a 120 wet sand. This area cleans up really nice too. I'm not gonna have to do too much on the outside. Really wish I had some material to do a skim coat, but I guess just a little more Bondo will have to do the trick. I'll just lay it real thin and real nice up there. Same with down here. I don't think I need to do much of any except just to fill in those little spots on the back and on the side. Here I need to do a little pocket, so I'll do a schmear right there. Might do a smear over this just to level it and then sand it down, but I think this is about as good as it's ever going to get. I'll just fill the low spots. This area I need a Bondo, and then this I used that green spray paint as a guide coat and started brushing those down a little bit more. I'm going to need to do a little more Bondo in the middle. Hopefully we'll smooth it out enough to where you don't notice it anymore, but it is coming around. It's coming around slowly, so I'll finish this one up, do some Bondo. I guess I'll do some Bondo on that too, because it looks pretty bad in the sunlight. And then I'll do everything that I just said on the back and other side. All right, so 2 failed attempts later, we've got a working prototype. It's not screwed in enough. I'll put some more in the middle, but this is good for now. I haven't cut this one off yet, but take a look at that. I think it's going to draw everyone's attention away from if there's any Bondo mistakes or if there's any bubbling or whatever. I think this will help kind of make it look a little more original. I don't think I'm going to screw it in yet. I'm going to take it off again, and I'm going to use seam sealer on the inside of that because that is what they use on the factory. You can't really tell because it's all, you know, enclosed, but since I've gotten this ripped off, I can tell you on the back there's like a black sludge on it. So I'll actually use some real seam sealer on the inside, keep it nice and watertight. But that is a really huge step for me. I made this stuff like a year or 2 years ago, and I've never gotten a chance to put it in yet, so waiting for this moment for a long time, baby. Also, before I get started, I have finally updated my destroyed shorts. Now that I'm not doing any more welding or grinding, there's no reason to wear any junky, falling apart clothes anymore, so we're into normal human clothes again. Alright, so there is what she looks like now. I'm just trying to get a gauge in the sunlight for how bad this bodywork is. Fairly bad. There's really not much I can do because, I mean, I'm just not good at this. I'll be real with you guys. So I think we're just gonna have to deal with it looking kind of bad. The quarter, I think, is gonna turn out really nice. I think that fin is gonna straighten out. All my welds right there, they're kind of hidden. So I'm pretty confident with the door or with the fin. It's just that the lower doors I'm less confident in. There's dents up there that I'm not worried about. There's just little dings around the car that I'm just not gonna fix because this is not a $300,000 auction Ecto 1. This is my Recto 1. All I need to do, I think, is keep working on the doors a little bit, work on this little fin area, Bondo this a little bit more, straighten this out to where this looks a little bit more like this one. This is a lot better. I'm very happy with this. I'm fine with that. We'll leave a couple dents like these two. We'll leave those and we'll just spray it as is, let it rest. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be good enough to get on the road. And then in 5-10 years, either if I redo it the right way or if I find someone that wants to do it, then I'll pay them to do it. But right now, that's not going to be me. I will also say I'm definitely seeing the sag now. I'm not sure if it had any sag before, but I know it's very prominent now. I can clearly see that the left side leaf spring is falling apart. So we'll definitely need to fix that, but it's not going to happen until all this body work is done and the car's reassembled. Then we can worry about getting a new leaf spring thrown on it. Okay guys, I'm going to do a test hit on the back door to see how this thick paint does do the filling. There's a little bit of some pits and gouges in the Bondo that I'm pretty confident this paint is thick enough to fill because I've used it before. It fills really nice, it lays itself out really smooth, and with all the prep work up here, I just want to see how everything's gonna look. So, wish me luck! So on the top, everything worked out pretty good, but on the bottom, I have more runs than I've ever had in one of these turbo cans. I've never had that much run. So I've got a lot to wet sand, I guess. So I guess I will be wet sanding this surface. That'll be fun. Yeah, that's more than I've ever had. I don't know if I just didn't shake it long enough, or this is an old can. I bought it, hell, what, over a year ago maybe? So maybe it's a little old. I don't know what the issue is. Probably user error. I'll just lean on that. User error. It's my fault. Okay, I'm being held in by one sheet metal screw. That's the strongest sheet metal screw in history. Oh, fully suspended. Oh, this is awesome. This feels cool. Proton blaster right here. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's perfect. Oh, it's so cool. So, for reference, this is a seat that came with the car when I first bought it back all those years ago when it was just a black hearse. This is just a piece of scrap metal from one of my trucks. It's the old gooseneck hitch from a discontinued gooseneck that you can't buy anymore. So this is purely for visual reference only. You see, because I have everything modeled out, like the arms, how it like scissors out, but I don't have the machinery to make it, and I can't afford to pay someone to make it. So I don't know how exactly I'm going to do it, but this is just a good little taste for all of us of what it's actually going to look like. Alright, well, we're getting to that point where everything I do just kind of takes a long time. So some of it I filmed, some of it I don't. You notice there was like a big jump between the amount of Bondo that was on the car at one point earlier in the day. What I just finished up was setting up this other drip rail, and I was going to go ahead and cut it all the way down, but I wanted to retain as much as possible, so I used a scrap piece that I cut off of the other side, just to use as little as possible, and it worked pretty nice. I think it's, I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna notice except for you guys because I'm telling you about it, but just ignore it if you see it. That's gonna look really nice. Obviously I'm taking it back off the way I already did with the other side for tomorrow's priming. So I think I've got the body set up the way I need it to be. I don't see any glaring issues. This side looks really nice and straight now. Bondo filled up. Everything looks good. I'm not worried about the little spot on the side of this fender, but I might weld those holes up tomorrow. Might. Don't get your hopes up. Don't get your hopes up. I might do it. This fender, same thing. Might. I'm also not worried about the bottom. That, it's got this like crappy old patch that someone did. I don't know how long ago, but it's just kind of covering over because they couldn't be bothered to weld it shut. And if you're wondering, like, that's more chicken shit than I would even do. Like, that's what people used to be restoring cars like back in the 70s, 80s. Back when these were just normal cars and you would just send it to your buddy Jim Bob, you get kind of work like that. And I'll tell you, if that held up that good up until now, then I think this work will hold up for even longer. So I'm pretty excited about this. Everything feels really smooth. When I opened the door earlier, I didn't see any like big, you know, ridges or anything on the side. Everything looks a lot better than it ever has, I'll tell you that much. It looks a lot better than it did at the beginning of this week. So tomorrow I'll just do a little bit more prep off camera, and then tomorrow morning, once it's not so humid out, we'll do another layer of primer, and then if it looks good, then we'll just spray Rust-Oleum straight. If it doesn't, obviously, oh, I gotta fix that. I'm glad I walked around a little bit. What I did last time, the primer just kind of came out really bubbly. So I used like I don't know how much grit sandpaper and just kind of walked over it by hand and was able to get it really nice and smooth. I might need to do that again on this one. I'll avoid the areas that I think are pretty good, like the tops of the doors. I'll try to save as much as I can. But hopefully we'll have the whole roof primered, both the doors primered, both the quarter panels all the way around to the back. We'll have it primered, and I just might do another touch-up coat of primer on this back door because I really wasn't happy about how that paint turned out. Not at all. That was worse than any Rust-Oleum on this car has ever turned out. Hopefully the whole car doesn't turn out like that tomorrow. All right, it's the next day. Everything's been sanded down, hosed off. Just need to dust it off a little bit more and wipe a little bit of that surface rust off from the morning dew. And we're ready to throw some primer on it. So let's get her moved over to the paint booth. Alright guys, so that last day or two of body work yielded 50-50 results, if you will. Those doors, I just don't think I'm ever gonna get them looking great. In fact, everything I do, Kind of makes them look a little bit worse each time. The Bondo did make it look better, I guess, but by no means does it look professional at all. It looks awful. The fins look good. The roof sections do look good. This section looks really good. I think that's the only good one I really did. I guess like the inner fenders, they look okay. The inner fins look okay. Like that strip, it's pretty much gone. But those doors are just never gonna look that good. I guess the roof does look a little better. I don't know, guys. Either way, we're gonna kind of leave it like that, and then this is gonna be the condition we spray Rust-Oleum on. We're just gonna have to live with it not looking perfect over there, because this is a not professional job. Believe me, guys, before you comment, oh, it looks so bad, you did a bad job. I know I did. I'm aware of that. No one wanted to take it on. I reached out to countless auto body places, people that restore movie cars. Believe me, I would love to have this thing look good, but within my wheelhouse, within my technical skills, it's just not going to happen. Those doors are not going to look perfect. The Bondo jobs are not going to look perfect because I really just don't know what I'm doing. You can comment, watch Pole Barn Garage all you want, but Dalton isn't gonna appear like a Beetlejuice creature and then start working on this for me with a cigarette in his mouth. That's just not gonna work. I don't have the skills, tools, or time to get this the way it needs to be. So we're just gonna have to accept that that's how the doors are gonna look and move on. Well, guys, I don't remember how many cans of turbo white I have on order. I think I have 3. That's not going to be enough because it just took 1.5 just to do this one side, and I still have a little bit on that quarter to do. Yeah, that's going to be annoying. It's coming out a lot better than it did on the rear door. I don't know if it's the humidity or that I shook it more or whatever. It's actually working the way it used to, so I feel a little less bad. And as well, I guess the dents are kind of hiding away. Now you've got some shiny white and some like reflection to mess with it a little bit. Hopefully it'll hide those dents a little bit more. It's gonna look better than it ever did before. It's just not gonna look, you know, like a $200,000 or $300,000 one. So if I ever park this next to a good one, then you'll be like, oh man, that looks so bad. But without that, if you just see it on the street, hopefully it won't look too bad. All right, guys, it's been a few days. We're back. No big preamble today. Let's just get the car taped back up and finish this paint job. All right, an hour and a half later, I had to make another run into town because technically 2 of those cans had a broken off spray nozzle on the top, and so it couldn't work. So one of them I was able to get enough done, so I was able to get it to work. Oh great, pine needles are sticking to it. Oh boy. I was able to get one to work, the other one not so much. So we'll get I got 3 of them. That's going to be more than enough. Enough to where I'll be able to spray a nice glossy coat over the side and the back. This side turned out pretty nice. The back also turned out pretty nice. I think it did have one run still, but nothing that running a little bit more over it won't fix. But mainly we need to finish this side. It's a little thin, thinner than most, and then the top is the thinnest. So priority goes top, this side, and then the other side in the back. We'll see how far we can go. Fair warning for you guys, I'll come back a little bit. This Rust-Oleum little switch 5-in-1 custom spray is the worst bullshit can that I've ever used for spray paint, like bar none. This is dog shit. This gets clogged like nothing I've ever seen before in spray paint. I can't even describe it. But I have 3 cans, each of them about half used, and I can't get the rest out of them. So hopefully off camera I'll get to do the back of the fin, but like for now this is all I've got out of 3 cans. Absolute waste of money. Why mess with the classic? Here's a couple-year-old cherry that's been sitting for I don't know how many years, but let's see if that works. Yep, perfect. Alright guys, so I can give you my honest thoughts after I guess the 3rd or 4th Ecto 1 Rust-Oleum paint job I've done. I don't know guys. So a little bit of backstory for some of you newer people is that I wanted this car to be rough around the edges. That's why I've never cared about the prototype stage that the car has been in this whole time. Like the dents and the bad paint, whatever. I wanted it to look like the real car, like not just like a pristine one like you see all the time. I wanted it to be beat up, kind of like look like an ambulance or a police car that's used every day, ran hard, put up wet, that kind of thing. So I wanted it to be rough around the edges. It's more than rough around the edges this time, and some of it's my body work, some of it might just be that I'm being harsher with it because of the months of work I've put into it and that I wanted it to look a certain way in my mind. I don't remember, honestly. It's been so long since the last time I had it nice painted. It's been a year actually, since October. So I don't know what it felt like and what it looked like really compared to now. I can't say if it's better or worse, because realistically it's got the 59 fins now, it's got the straight doors, whatever. But guys, I suck at body work. I'll be real with you. It's pretty disheartening to see all the dents now in the white. It's gonna be a evening and sundown car for sure, because it just doesn't hold up. And I don't know, I could just be harsh on it because I've put all this work into it, but the problem, I'm just frustrated because I've tried really hard to make it good within my constraints. I'm doing it on the back of a trailer in our backyard, like in the bull pasture. I'm doing all this stuff with very limited Harbor Freight tools. I wanted to make it nice, I really did. And when I say that, I mentioned earlier, I tried very hard. Anyone I knew in Texas and outside of Texas, a couple outside of Texas, I tried very hard to get someone to do this car, like the body work, right. To say like, hey, let me get the fins done. Let me get the quarter panel welded into place, and then someone else go nuts to make it right. Like pull dents, do body work, do Bondo, do metal shaping to make it nice. And guys, like, there is no one, like, no one took me up. And I'm not trying to get freebies or anything. I'm actually trying to get actual shops and people that do this professionally. No one wants to do it. So I'm gonna just live with it like this. It's either this or it just sits and rusts and rots away. So consider this like, consider it like you're taking food home in a really bad container, like leftovers in a really bad container. And when you get home, you're going to put it in a better one. Like it's a plate. Say you have leftovers, you have a plate, and then you put another plate over it, and then you taped that together. That's kind of what this paint job is to me. It's 2 plates with a bunch of, you know, soul food like turkey, cornbread, whatever, like just southern food piled up, taped up, and then when I get home I'm gonna actually put it in the right stuff. I'll put it in Tupperware and keep it nice, because I really do want this thing to look better than this. I hate how it looks right now. I really do. I hate how it looks, but this is all I can do. I'm doing this alone. I have no support. I have no shop behind me. I don't even have a building to do this work in. So that's another thing. I'm fighting everything right now, and I'm just trying to get this done so it can be in one piece. But the piece that it's in, it's not in a good shape. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too mean to it. You guys can let me know. I'll move it out into the sunlight so you can see, but it looks like dog shit, in my opinion. I don't know. And I've got so much overspray and little runs from things I messed up, like right there. I'll need to wet sand that. Guys, I'm really bad at this, and next time I do a car, I'm not gonna do the paint myself. It's gonna go to a shop, because I can't have it look like this again. Like, it's embarrassing. Alright, it's the next morning. I'm going to try to not be so negative about this today. I got the roof rack back on all by myself. Don't ask. It was a whole new process I created, but it wasn't that hard. Once I thought about it a little bit. I did get the other drip rail put on, and I had a good method that I created where I taped up everything. You see a little bit of tape that I gotta remove still, but I taped it up and got a lot less cleanup to do, so I'm really happy about that. All I need to do is tap it down and then paint it, and then it'll be perfect. So I've got a little bit to do. I've got to drill some holes in these rubber pads that I created. Those are going to go under the roof rack in order to create a little bit more of a waterproof seal. Hello. Oh, that looks really comfy. Anyways, I've got to do that. I need to try to get that roof rack installed and put back together. I've got these from Amazon. I think they're Chevy Nova. Can you stop meowing? Thank you, boss. You got to put these on. These are, I think, Chevy Nova rearview mirrors I got off Amazon. It's like $40 for 2, and they're going to be a lot nicer than the ones I used to have on it. So I'll throw those on the doors, or one on the door, one on the quarter panel. Just do a bunch of small stuff assembly today. That's the goal. Alright, off camera, just to save some time, I went ahead and installed them back on the car. Just loosely, still have some more drilling to do. I just have one screw holding this one in and then two on that one. But it should be enough just to move it slowly so we can get it out in the sunlight and see how good I did. I forgot about the back door. It opened. Alright, I'll admit it. At least on this side, I'm not that upset with the bodywork because the matte white does end up covering up a good amount of it. I'm not sure how it's going to show up on camera, but it shows up pretty good in the old human eyes. My visual receptors are pretty okay with that. Back door looks pretty good. The red looks nice. I've got a little wet sanding to do from some of my mistakes, but that'll come off with some real high fine grit sandpaper. You have got to go back over here. Yeah, I mean, it's better than it was before, I guess. It's better, even better than before the fire. It's a lot better than that. Light bars look awesome. Oh yeah, that dog will hunt. Much, much, much better. Oh yeah, that light bar is perfect. Perfectly accurate light bar. We'll get some logos thrown on there next week. I've still got to figure out the fender skirts. I don't have both of them just yet set up. But can you believe that this car was exploded and burned down to the ground 9 months ago? Can you just believe that? Obviously there's a lot left to do, but come on, guys. Can I get a little credit? Does this redeem me after burning this car down to the ground? Am I redeemed? Let me know in the comments. I think I'm redeemed. Got to figure out the trim for the top of the fin. I've still got to install these. I got to paint these, but I'm out of this paint. So I've got one left to do, and then I want to spray more on all of them. Still got to wire everything up. Got to paint this drip rail and then bend it down with a hammer. A little wet sanding there. A little odd and end crap. I still need to assemble this fender, put the spotlight back on. A lot of little things left to do. But the big stuff is behind us, and fellas, I think we redeemed ourselves. Well guys, after I know I was pretty negative yesterday about the quality of the car, about how I didn't like the paint job. After all the months I've put into it, I wanted it to look better than that. After sleeping on it and putting it all back together mostly so I can see it all in one piece, I'm a lot happier with it, and I need to tell myself the same way I'm telling you guys that this car is still in the prototype phase. At the end of the day, this is not going to be a finished product, even though I just put all that time into it. It's still a prototype. I'm not going to be happy with it until years down the road when I put thousands of dollars into it and send it to a body shop and have them really go through the car, have good metal work, good paint, everything, no ripples, no bad welds. Until that day comes, I'm not going to be 100% satisfied with the car, and I think by that extent, you guys aren't either. So I think there's 2 points we need to be able to make, is that one thing I've learned from Pole Barn Garage: don't get it perfect, just get it driving. And that's 100% what this car is. It is a running, driving, LS swapped 1959 Cadillac ambulance. It is very screen accurate now. It Still is very rough around the edges. I mean, there's no edge that isn't rough on this car. But I will say it is running, it is driving. I am fully confident. I just need to get brakes done on the back, and I need to get the lights done for the brake lights and everything. This car will be 100% sound on the road again. And it's very exciting for me, considering this car was destroyed 9 months ago. And that whole time I was worried about what the mechanical condition would be. It's in perfect condition. Don't get it perfect, get it driving. That's something that you guys should do as well. That's advice you should take from me and from the people that I watch on YouTube. Be okay with it being rough. That's why I left this quarter panel or the fender. You see how the bottom is all spider cracked with 40-year-old Bondo, and it doesn't even match now. Do I care? Absolutely not. I care more about this little piece that I'm gonna need to wet sand and clean up a little bit. I care about that, but I don't care about this because that's something that I don't need in order to enjoy the car. Sure, will it bug me a little bit if I look at it too long? Yes, but then I just go look at something else. But I'm really proud of this. I'm really happy about the condition it's in right now. We've got some really beautiful stripes going all the way down the car again into some perfect 1959 Cadillac fins. We have solid rockers for the first time ever. We have a gunner door ready for a gunner seat. I just need to make it. The roof rack is back installed. We have screen accurate Code 3 Force 4 XL light bars that are blue, that were clear just a couple hours ago, that we painted. Now, I will make a note for you guys doing these cars. This is Rust-Oleum Testers 1257T, transparent blue, small 3-ounce can. I called them because I'm having trouble getting it. Apparently it discontinued in June, so they don't make it anymore. I'm hoping they start making it again one day, but for now, if you're about to start building one of these, if you're watching this right now going, crap, I have clear light bars that need to make blue, buy that paint now. 1257T, that's the paint code. But it looks perfect. I've got to do this end and that side, and then I'll probably do a little bit more on those just to darken them up a little bit, and they are going to be perfect. I still need to build this fender up, take all the stuff off the other one and install the headlights. We have a lot of work left to do, guys, but the big stuff is behind us, the big scary stuff. The car now, it looks like the Ecto one. It has the light bars installed on it. The roof is fully situated again. So now we only have small stuff, and we have a small amount of time to do that small stuff. That was my second point that I was getting at earlier. We're gonna have to try to rush this just to get it into a somewhat done state so we can try to enjoy it on Halloween and try to film some cool Halloween stuff for you guys. After that, we can park it again and worry about some stuff like the gunner seats, and some bigger projects are going to take a little while. A drone dome on the roof that opens and closes, maybe some fine detail stuff to clean up the bodywork. But that's going to come after Halloween. So let me know, guys, if you have any ideas of what you want to see me do on Halloween with the car. And just also, once it's on the road, if you have any ideas, things you want to see me go do once it's mobile again. And yeah, other than that, you'll see me come back in a couple weeks trying to get this thing put back together, and I'll see you there.